Hello, this is Gmodism and this is a video about some updates I've made on my creations. So I have updated my Volvos and the Force Corvette class Airship. And I'm going to tell you what's the benefits of it and how I did it to make them much better. So this new thing with the Volvos, except the colors, are that I can now reach a much higher top speed since the weight is much lower. Because I didn't think of it, but my chassis was quite heavy, because I thought it may be good to have some weight on the chassis if you would get in some ACF gunfire or something, I don't know. But it is quite important what the weight of the vehicle is for racing. So if you have a heavy vehicle, it will be slow. So I've completely removed the little armor feature and changed the weight of all the car props to nothing, because it is so I think this car's chassis is made of something like 100 props or something, and all of those props weigh 24 as or all the S props do, and that made the vehicle very heavy. So it is so that now it weighs 1,600 kilos, 1.6 tons, and that's a quite close car weight. And the weight of the wheels is a bit lower, 100 in the front, 150 in the back, and that's completely sufficient. The base plate is also much lighter, it's 300, and that's completely enough. So now I reach a much higher top speed. And the most important thing about this is that I downloaded a new parent tool, because I had another one before, but now I have a better parenting tool which offers more features. So now I can put set weight. And I got this tip from someone on a server, I don't remember who, but if you just set the weight on every prop, the chassis gets very light and you have much better racing speed. And also, when I reparented this, I didn't parent it to the base prop. No, I parented it to gate, a wire gate. So now I don't need to, unparent everything to change the color of the vehicle. So that's one good thing with parenting stuff to WireGate. So we're just going to put a nice color in this, and I'm going to take it for a race. So now we're going to race, or drive rather, the diesel version. I've spawned these two others without constraint, but this is I think I spawned a four-wheel. Yes, this is the four-wheel drive version, and that's actually the fastest version. I haven't changed the engine. It's the same, close to the real one engine for the Volvo car. So I now reach 90 kilometers per hour with this one. The diesel version is a bit slower but offers a bit more acceleration. And I also added this nice little movable steering wheel. So, wow, I didn't think this is the proper way down. So, now we're going for a nice ride. And, well, even with the diesel version, the acceleration is much faster. And one funny thing with this car, which I got very realistic, as this is back-wheel drive, as the real one was, this suffers from the same disadvantage that the real car had, and that is that it had bad road grip, especially in the Swedish cold winter. And this has quite bad road grip. But the four-wheel drive version of this car is just much better with that. So well, basically that's it. So when you're building ACF car, if you don't think of it, keep the weight of the chassis low. If you don't know your car will get into ACF stray fire, then it can be good to have like ACF Armor 5 or something, like very lightweight armor. I think the top speed of this one, I think it doesn't reach more than 80. The four-wheel drive reaches 90, but well, that's also the petrol engine, which offers a bit more speed. The map, I could say, is called War Map version 5, and it's a really nice map. Should be good for online wars and stuff. Well, this is the new version of my Force Corvette class Airship, attack ship. So, well, this is a 6.5 ton aircraft. It's quite heavy and, well, it's also designed to take out quite heavy targets. This 40mm heavy machine gun is quite powerful actually. It can shred lighter armor very easily, so this one can actually take out light tanks with these machine guns. And I also have this 75mm short cannon. And so what I've changed with this is that I've changed the weapons and made this very much more maneuverable. And how I did that is, I think you already know this, but fin tool, you know, we can bring it to front. Let's find fin tool. You can see you can change like lift by plane, no lift, and I usually use no lift for most applications, but you know, the max is 100, but you can write in whatever you want. We can have a 400% fin. So I have quite bad steering with this one, but I've changed that with making these fins 1200% fin. And well, they can support that because this rod is connected to this one with double hydraulic, so it can take quite much force. And with this high fin percentage, I have a much more maneuverable aircraft. Before, the steering was quite slow. And another thing you need is this thing. This is a fin, and it's 400% fin. And that stops me from, you know, if I wouldn't have that, I wouldn't turn like this. No, I would move in this motion, like zigzag with the fins. But when I have this fin in the front, I can turn. So that's very important to know. Well, let's fly this thing. And another thing. Now I also installed the hood. And I actually did into the code of Spider's tank ship and changed the texts. I usually don't dwell in E2, but anyways. And I added a clutch because I know that my gear is quite low. High, I mean. My gear is quite high, so it's hard to start this thing, but when you have a clutch, it's much more easy. And another thing I learned from a friend on Steam named Greg, that if you have the fin for steering up and down in the forward instead of here in the back as I had before. So I've moved this fin to the forward here. Then the aircraft gets much more maneuverable. So that's a smart tip if you're building airplanes or if you're building airships or whatever. Or maybe submarines. So now I will stop talking and fly. So when you're building aircraft, it can be quite useful to have only one gear, as you often don't need very high speeds as you easily lose control. Like this maneuverabilities. It's very nice. Then it's very useful to have a clutch, so you can start with a high gear by just speeding up the engines, you know, like I did. Like this. And release it. That's very useful. Anyways, now we're going to load the guns. And take out some combines. So now I'm going to show you what I mean with this clutch thingy. We speed the engine like this, and then we just release the clutch and we can start from high gear. So we just need only one gear. And now I'm going to show the power of this machine gun, heavy machine gun, on this light tank. I think we detonated some ammo box. So a good thing with this machine gun is that I have these armor-piercing high explosive rounds, which you can come in from the side and ignite the ammo boxes like that. So that's quite cool. Tanks are usually not armored very well in the sides. And I also have heat rounds for the 75mm machine cannon, short cannon. But the thing with that cannon is that it's rigid, and well, it's more designed to take out larger things like airships and stuff. End of ammo, reloading. I also have this Ranger for the short cannon, but you have to update it every time. And the nice thing with airships that you can come in this slow speed. You can easily come from the back on vehicles which most oftenly have less armor. Well, thank you very much, Spider, for sharing this tank ship. It's just so enormously useful. It's a very good ship, and it's I said it. It's the ship I use for the turret here. I must check if this tank still serves for battle. I think the seat is gone. So, well, I would say this tank is destroyed. It doesn't look very destroyed, but the engine is left. And, well, the ammo is blown up. So, well, this tank is quite wasted. So that's the power of the machine gun. I think the armor of all these parts, I don't know what the weight is from the beginning. It's 8,000 ton tank. I think the most of the armor parts are 25, it seems to be. I don't know who created this tank, but I was given it to me because I'm not a very good tank builder, and that's because I never build tanks. I know who I got it from, but I don't know who the original builder is. But it's a cool light tank. It's a very good light tank, actually.